Bravo, Von Mueller, back again. What do we have today? We have Sweden, the tape, the Illuminati family, one of the major families. Somebody died in that family, and I got a hold of these tapes, like I said, about 77 of them. Today is Sweden. Now, what's interesting about this tape there, you see the Wasa Kepit or whatever? This is a ship that was was made in 1620 something, like over 400 years ago. This ship, you got to watch this part. I almost didn't film it because it was too dark, but it's kind of cool. Anyhow, the Wasa ship was when Sweden was a major power in the 17th century. I won't go into that. You can watch it. But interesting news today: the former Afghanistan defense minister. Okay, get this. His son, the son of the Afghanistan defense minister. Now, he owns a $5 million home in Miami Beach. Just bought, I think it was like $20 million mansion in Beverly Hills. Now, if you want to know where our money went, we spent trillions and trillions of dollars over in an endless 20-year war. Anyhow, this kind of reminds me of the story I'm going to tell you about over there in Afghanistan and also Iraq. You talk about war being a racket, military being a racket. So the idea was, our military leaders was, instead of really killing people, the idea was to win friends and influence people through money. So the way that worked is a colonel, a full bird colonel over there. We're talking Iraq or Afghanistan, anywhere over there basically. A full bird colonel, he had his area. He was like God. He owned that area, that land. I don't know exactly how many square miles it was, but that colonel owned that land. He was a ruler. Apparently, he carried around duffel bags, maybe even bigger, of cash. He had so much cash. Each colonel probably had over $1 billion at any one time. Now, this is what happened. The colonels would authorize leaders, like platoon leaders and squad leaders, to go out there and win friends and influence people. So one time, this guy told me he was over there, and the colonel told him to go make that farmer happy. So what they gave out micro grants. You're not going to believe this. Micro grants is what they called them. They were like $5,000, sometimes $10,000. These soldiers that represented the colonel just gave these $5,000 micro grants out to people to win their influence and friends. So this one farmer, and when I use the term farmer, I use that term very, very loosely. Okay. Anyhow, I think the representative of the colonel, I was talking to him. I think he was either a lieutenant or a captain. He goes up to the farmer and he says, "Hey, we're going to give you a $5,000 micro grant to buy a tractor because, we want to, like I said, the military, our military representing the United States government, the United States people, that's what we did. We gave out micro grants to win friends and influence people. We know how that turned out. They played us. They played us big time. Make a long story short, they gave the so-called farmer $5,000. He was supposed to go out and buy a tractor. Remember, and I asked the lieutenant or captain or whatever he was there any paperwork on this? Was there no paper trail? Absolutely no paper trail. Absolutely nothing. Not even a signature on these micro grants. I couldn't believe it when I heard it. You talk about how we lost $6 trillion. I mean, they were giving out micro grants like they were chewing gum. Remember in Vietnam, the soldiers would give the children candy and chewing gum? Well, anyhow, in this one, they were giving out $5,000 micro grants. Like I said, to make a long story short, they go back to the farmer in about a couple months. They're back in that area about 3 months later. And the lieutenant goes up and he asks the farmer, "Hey, where's your tractor at? How's things going?" Get this. The farmer says, "Oh, no. I did not buy no tractor. I bought me a wife. You see, my wife over there, she can do much, much more work than a tractor." The wife can do more work than a tractor. So these people played us like there was no tomorrow. Can you believe it? The military guy gives him $5,000 micro grant, no paperwork, go buy a tractor. He goes buys a wife for Yeah, I'd like to buy me a wife for $5,000, and he's absolutely correct. The wife can do more work than track. I thought that was funny as hell when I heard it. Well, anyhow, your low guy down, the low guy on the totem pole in Afghanistan, they were getting $5,000 micro grants. Guess what the guys at the top were getting? Well, we know because the son of the defense minister, he's got now a $20 million a mansion in Beverly Hills, a $5 million house in Miami Beach, and he had himself a transportation company over in Afghanistan, a transportation company. They took loads of Federal Reserve notes. They on the C-5s, I think they were, the biggest airplane in the world. They just unloaded bundles and bales of C notes. $100. I mean, I don't even want to get into it. Okay, here's that ship we were talking about. This ship was made when Sweden was like a major power in the world, and it was made like in 1624, 1626, and I thought, look how cool. That's something. That is the actual ship they took off the ocean floor. How cool is that? It looks like the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Talk about that. The tribal. Okay, you got Spain. Okay, you got Sweden. You got Italy, you got Spain, Portugal. Okay, we were tribes, the European tribes of North America, and we all came. All those tribes from Europe came to North America, and we conquered North America. There were Native American Indians here, and I don't want to get into the history, but part of the things I was going to talk about today was tribal. The tribalism was trending, and that's one of the reasons why the Illuminati and these people who think they can control the world, they're globalists. They didn't want tribalism to keep on trending. Donald Trump, like I said. So I'm going to add a little tape here. Some of the thoughts I was thinking about. I don't know when I thought about this, maybe yesterday or this morning or whatever. I'll add it here. But tribalism is a trend, and I don't think you can buck a trend. But these elitists, these Illuminati people, these Bilderbergs, they do think that they can buck the trend. They can break the trend. They have to because they are globalists. And anyhow, I'll add this little clip here and then enjoy the 8mm vacation movies of Sweden.
Well, every tribe has its culture and traditions, and this is why it's so important to travel. Travel can give you an education, but travel is for the rich and the elite. This is why it's so important for the Illuminati families and the most highest up the food chain to do their traveling. They learn from other cultures, other traditions. It is an education. So keep that in mind as we watch these tapes. But there's one big issue here. The elite and the Illuminati are part of a global organization, a global family. What is the enemy of a global government? The enemy of a global authoritative government is tribalism. So they want to learn from the tribal traditions. They want to learn by traveling over the world, learning from every tribe, and they take in this education, they take in this wisdom, but where they do business, they work on a global theory where the peons and the masses, the unwashed masses, have to submit to a global authority. And again, the enemy of a global authority is tribalism. And that leads us back to today and the Great Reset, where you always hear they have lawyers and marketing people. It's a shame, but that's how it works. The governments work off of marketing. They have marketing people try to sell their global plan. So in the marketing, you'll hear this: build back better. Build back better. But as I go to Home Depot, and there are no galvanized roofing sheets. You start to wonder, what does this Build Back Better mean? It's a marketing ploy. What it really means is times are going to get tougher, because there was a trend. What we have here, there was a trend of tribalism. Donald Trump came in, he was pushing tribalism, and this really scared the shit out of these elite Illuminati families, because again, they're for the global system, they're the global government, they control everybody, and you are a peon, an unwashed you are the unwashed masses. You will submit to their global authority. But this tribalism that was going on with Donald Trump in the last couple of years, this scared the shit out of them. It was a trend. And what they know is it's hard to fight trends. That's what they're trying to do right now. So the Illuminati families are trying to fight the trends. It's my opinion that's a losing battle. A trend is a trend. You don't go against the tidal wave. But that's what they're trying to do with the Great Reset. They're going to try to stop this trend of tribalism and get back to their global government agenda.